Hello, everybody. My name is Nemer of Mundo Albiceleste.com, and as always, I'm joined by the living legend himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Sebastian Garcia. How are you
Hello,
today?
how are you? How's everyone? You caught me a bit off guard. I was retweeting, inviting more people to join us, but we're ready for a new game for a new match for Argentina on our way to Qatar 2022. And we're gonna talk about the preview of the game, talk about everything that was going on in the last few days, what to expect for tomorrow, and every detail that we can think of. And obviously, we're ready to answer all your questions, and be ready to start conversations with you everywhere you are in the world. We may be a little outlet, but we know we have people everywhere in the world, and we do it for you.
Worldwide, absolutely
Yeah,
worldwide. And you talked about previewing a match. Hopefully, we get a match this time, unlike the last video we did, which was just Argentina Brazil, all of 5 minutes. But like you said, we are it's pretty much worldwide. So we have Rian here, Rian from Nepal.
nice.
Hello, Rian. We have Rafael from Bangladesh. There you go. And Tom's doing good. He's pending to see what FIFA says. I think we're all kind of waiting to see what
Yeah,
FIFA says about that one. And MN is in the chat as well. MN, how are you, buddy? I hope you are well. And Reno, Nevada, United States. There you go. So
nice.
we're San Francisco, Jamaica, everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere, everywhere.
today is a bit of a different time zone. We normally do
Yes.
this a lot later, which is a lot earlier for in the day for Asia. But it's really good to see there's people in Bangladesh. I don't know what time it is right now over there, but I'm guessing I have to say good morning to you guys. And we're seeing people from the United States, so it's good. It's good to see and to do this, and knowing that whatever the time we start, we're never alone. So it's fantastic.
No, no, absolutely not. And we're getting more people in the chat now. There you go. Another one from Bangladesh. So, like you said, different time zone, but still the same people, still the same lovely, lovely people. Oh, United Kingdom as well. There you are. So, Tanvir in
3:15
the
a.m. in Bangladesh. Oh my
3:15
God.
a.m. Bangladesh. There you go.
Thank you
So,
so much for being. You either love us very much or you have a big insomnia crisis. But either way, we're happy to have you here.
oh,
you
hopefully
know,
you love us. Hopefully you don't have any type of crisis, and hopefully it's the
yeah.
love.
Hopefully, it's down to love. Yeah.
It's the love, and Brooklyn from New York as well. So we're on the same time zone. It's 5:19 p.m. for me. Brooklyn's the same. Seba, you're about an hour ahead, so about
Yeah.
6:20
Yeah.
p.m. We're just over 24 hours away from the match. Argentina versus Bolivia. Last match, obviously, not much of a match. 5 minutes and the whole scandal, which we're kind of still waiting to see. Um, However, as I mentioned, we still have one more game to go, the third of three matches. This one at home at the Monumental with fans in attendance, 30% of the capacity of the stadium. Seba, I know you tried getting tickets, but it was almost impossible.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you a story in a bit, but there's a few things that would like to mention through this video. So you're gonna hear a bit of a weather report because it's important. A bit of information about the playing field, the pitch itself, because it's an important aspect to consider for tomorrow. We're gonna talk about the probable starting 11 for Argentina with a couple of confirmations, and then the rest up for grabs for a lot of players. In any case, it's going to be a strong team for Argentina. Some players had to return to Europe, but those who stayed are going to form a pretty strong team. So it's gonna be a very strong Argentina team for tomorrow. But I don't know if you want. I can start talking about the adventure that it is to find the ticket for this fixture and what ended up happening. If you've seen previous videos, we were talking about my idea to go there to bring my son over there. I live only 6 blocks from the River Plate Stadium, and I love going there. I've been to a lot of the World Cup qualifiers in the past. It's a fantastic thing, and obviously the pandemic It's making me miss this a lot more than I used to. So I'm really anticipating the next time I'm gonna go to the stadium, either for Argentina, for Racing, my team in Argentina. I miss going to the stadium. I haven't been in since the pandemic started, but it wasn't to be for me this time around. Remember, the capacity has been reduced for this one. It's only 30% allocation for this game, and the system was completely. Uh, it was a complete mess. I tried to queue online. There was only one place to find the tickets, to buy the tickets. So I was queuing online, the virtual queue. And when the minute I started, they told me that I had 70,000 people in front of me in the virtual line. So to wait for my
Wow.
turn. But the beauty was that um, I also had to wait uh, about 7,000 minutes or something like that. The conversion was like 125 hours. So that was going to be my turn in 125 hours. But obviously that was way after the game. So I couldn't make it. And then the system was very complicated because once you buy the tickets online, then you have to go to the stadium today, the day before the game. And for a lot of people buying tickets from the provinces, it meant that they had to take a trip to Buenos Aires that was not expected a day after the game. And probably in some cases they had to go back to their hometowns and then travel again on the next day, because that would have been cheaper than staying here at a hotel. So it was a mess, and everything was under horrible weather conditions because it's been raining in Buenos Aires. It's been raining for the last 36 hours. It only stopped half an hour ago. So that's, we're probably going to the next topic about the weather report, the playing conditions. But everything you hear about the tickets for Argentina is true. Nobody's making anything up, and it's really bad to see that it's been very disorganized. But on the other hand, if we are looking at the half full glass, or the glass half full, whatever, um, there's a lot of love for the national team. There's a lot of demand. There's a eagerness to watch this team, to see them play, to be there. In the first match, they're going to play at home with the home crowd after becoming Copa America champions. So it's going to be interesting, and it's going to be a good experience for anybody that was lucky enough to secure some tickets.
Yeah, it's and there's something you said there. There's a high demand, which has not always been the case in the past couple of years. Specifically after the 2010 World Cup, 2011, around that time, tickets would still be on sale up until the match day. So we're expecting, yes, it's 30% capacity tomorrow for the match at the Monumental, but those 30%, I feel like those 30% are going to make up for the other 70% that
Yeah,
will not be there, I think. Just because, as you mentioned, the conditions, and if you're coming from outside of Buenos Aires to make the trip and everything, you're going to be amped up for it, and I think the players are as well. And it's the Copa America trophy. I'm guessing it's going to be there. There's going to be a celebration. There's got to be something,
yeah,
and I mean, FN writes only 21,000 allowed on the pitch. That's still 21,000. I mean, you saw for the Euros or even the Copa America final, where I think in total it was about 4,000,
hmm.
and you still heard the noise. So imagine 21,000. And I can't even remember the last time Argentina played at the Monumental. Was it, I believe, 2017 versus Venezuela, I believe, as well, or Bolivia. So we're talking 4 or 5 years since the last time they played at the Monumental in front of fans. It's going to be something. It's going to be something.
Yeah,
Hopefully, there's no rain.
yeah. Talking about the rain, apparently it's not going to be raining during the game, but it's going to be cold. We're still in the winter. In winter, th- in the last few weeks of winter, normally temperatures are not that bad at this time of the year, but they're expecting 12 degrees Celsius around kickoff, which is gonna be cold for the fans. It's gonna be um, the River Plate not only has the name river in it, that club. But if you look at some aerial shots of the Monumental, you're gonna see the Rio de la Plata, the River Plate, really near the stadium. For those who have seen an aerial shot, maybe Roy, you can. This wasn't rehearsed. This wasn't prepared, but you're fast. I know. I'm putting you in a tough
On the spot.
spot here, but the stadium is really near the river, and every time you're near next to a river or the sea, the ocean, there's a
Yeah,
lot of wind. There's a lot of wind there. So if you are in the upper tier of the Monumental tomorrow, you're gonna you're gonna feel some.
you're gonna
You're
feel the
gonna
wind.
feel the weather, yeah, yeah. But luckily, or hopefully, it's not gonna rain. But when it comes to rain and I'm not very much into weather reports, but I think we can tie it up. And here's Roy. You see the
Uh,
river next to the
yeah,
stadium in the
I can't
background.
for it's this one here. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And also, it's very there isn't a lot of tall buildings between the stadium and the river. The tall buildings are uh, on the other side of the stadium. So it's gonna be cold for the lucky ones who got the tickets for tomorrow for tomorrow. But I don't think they're gonna care about it. They'll bring the heat. They'll bring the passion to the game. But staying on the topic of weather and the stadium, this is something that I think is interesting because it's going to be a real test for the Monumental playing field because it's brand new. It's the newest in not the stadium, but the playing field is the newest in Argentina. They recently in December, I think it was even this year, I think they completed the work. River couldn't use the Monumental pitch for a while. They were playing elsewhere, and they were doing some work because a rain like this would have put the game in jeopardy for tomorrow because sometimes I think there was a Brazil Argentina and Argentina Brazil back in the day or Chile. I don't remember exactly which was the rival or the game, but it was raining a lot, and I think they postponed the kickoff time for a bit. But it was bad. It was flooded. It was very very difficult playing conditions. But nowadays they change everything, so it shouldn't be happening. And yeah, of course, Fernet Branca, a drink of Fernet Branca, and that's all you need to
yeah.
fight the conditions. But talking about the
I do have the
pitch,
images.
yeah, you have the images. Ah,
Yes, I have
fantastic!
the
Look,
images.
you're a star. You're a star.
Yeah,
So
you
basically,
see
what they
this
did,
guy.
they hired this Irish company to take care of a long overdue reform that they needed doing
Yeah,
because every time there was a bit of rain in the Monumental, um, games were at risk, could be suspended. So what they did was not just the grass, but some layers underneath the grass, because there's some clay, there's some rocks there, there's some sand, earth, obviously, um, and all of these things had a bit of a failure, and they were collapsing underground because there
You
were
thought BMW
some
was the ultimate
issues.
driving.
There were some issues even from back in the day when the World Cup in 1978 was played. Also, there was the playing grass was a bit uneven, so in the corners you had a bit of a difference in height, in altitude. So they changed everything. They worked the underground for a while, and now it's technology, very recent technology, and they control everything with a system. Even they had Wi-Fi to check the conditions from abroad. So if you look at the playing field these days, it's like a billiard. It's like
it's
a
smooth.
snooker. That's like a snooker table. It looks fantastic. So I'm hoping that this is going to show tomorrow that the playing conditions are not going to be affected by this. So I wanted to tell you this little bit of story because it combines a bit of the weather with the playing pitch, and these are the things that maybe are not too too popular or too well known abroad. And I wanted to share this bit of info. And if you have questions about it, go ahead. The only downside to this, it's that I don't have the stats here, but River Plate, since they came back to play at home, they don't have a very good record. They're not winning every game. It could be down
Uh,
to it could be down to their form. It's not nothing to do with the grass, because the grass is the same for both teams, but they're not winning all their matches there as they used to before. And some people are saying, "Hey, why don't we change back the grass or whatever?" Some River fans, but I'm not anticipating this is going to be an issue for Argentina tomorrow. Feeling
no.
confident again. I'm feeling confident again.
There you go. Seba's been very, very confident since before the first match against Venezuela, and it's actually a good comment here by FN in the chat. He said, "Not like the Copa America fields." I mean, if you really think of it, the
Oh,
Copa America fields were bad. Even the match against Venezuela, the pitch wasn't the best. Versus Brazil in Sao Paulo at the Corinthians Stadium, it looked better than other
yeah,
pitches. It
yeah.
looked better, but I think this is finally the first match in several matches where Argentina are going to have a very, very good playing field.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
there's a question here by Lo Alp. He says, or they ask, sorry, wait, is the match not today? It depends what part of the world you're in.
I don't think I don't think it's today in any part of the world. Actually, it
No,
has to be
no,
tomorrow. Has to be
it's
tomorrow.
either
Yeah.
Thursday. So the match is at 8:30 in Buenos Aires, 8:30 p.m.
Yeah. So
Buenos Aires. So
it's in about 26 hours. So
yes,
it's gonna be tomorrow anywhere you are in the world. Yeah.
there you go. Nothing is today.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
the message I wanted to bring it up. There you go. The match is tomorrow. Even the Maracana was bad. Yes. So
Yeah.
finally, we're gonna get something, and it's gonna be so either Thursday evening or Friday
Friday.
morning, the latest, depending on where you are in the world.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
and there you go. So Godab writes Friday for Australia.
Friday for Australia, and yeah, um,
Yeah. Um,
it's gonna be Thursday night. So yeah, absolutely. Check your alarms, everybody. Check.
yeah.
Don't.
Check it online, do something. As Seba said, it's in around 26 hours
Yeah.
or so. 26, yeah, about 26 hours. So check that out wherever you are in the world. And obviously, we're going to be doing a post match, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to be here as well. And very early in Bangladesh. It's going to be at 5:30 in the morning in Bangladesh, Friday morning. Loal planned their day, thinking it was today. Fortunately or unfortunately, it's not today. It is
Yeah.
tomorrow, and
Look at the
that's
positive. You're gonna be really, really, really ready for the game. You're gonna
yes,
your manija, as we say in Argentina, is gonna be to the maximum.
sky high.
Sky high.
It's going to be sky high. Talking about sky high, this team's confidence is sky high. This team's attitude is sky high. There were some videos. You sent me a video, I believe it was yesterday or a couple of days ago. It was
Yeah.
Paredes and De Paul, and it was Papu Gomez just kind of filming it. These guys are nuts. They're just crazy,
Yeah.
and I think it's going to be a party for the match. I,
Yeah.
I really think so. I
Yeah.
think that's it.
In that video, Papu was the quiet. Papu
He
was
was
the
the quiet
quiet one.
one.
Imagine how fired up are the other guys. One
Yeah.
thing. Sorry. Of course, our confidence is high. We're spirits are high, but there was a bit of a scare yesterday at night because
Yes. Yes.
as it goes. Maybe some journalists, they have the information, they know who this person is, but in order to gain some attraction to what they're saying and some audience, they will go. There's a COVID case in the team in Argentina. We're gonna tell you who it is in a few hours. So then you tune in and you stay there for a while, and it ends up being none of the playing stuff, none of the coaching stuff. I don't know if you have a picture ready there, but it's the cook.
Uh, I don't have
The
that. Oh wait, the picture. I have the cook that
Yeah,
you sent me. Yes, yes, that one I have. Let me.
because Roy was. I was telling Roy, hey, it's a cook. Apparently, it's the cook. We have a WhatsApp group, and then he says, okay, I hope nothing serious happens to this guy, but yeah. thankfully it's none of the it's none of the players. And so I sent him this
The
picture and
picture, which
of the cook, because there are a few cooks in the national team, but this picture that I liked
this,
because it
yeah,
looked like he was doing giving Roy a bit of a stare, like, you talking to me?
there
But
you go. So this
the,
is the cook right here, apparently.
what
That's
what were
the
you
cook.
saying about me? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh, this is not the cook,
No,
thankfully,
no, no,
and I hope this guy. I hope we see a lot of this guy tomorrow. We're gonna slowly start talking about the
match.
potential, yeah, the probable starting lineup for tomorrow. Um, but I also wanted to dedicate a couple of minutes to Scaloni, the man. Um, Maybe you will feel the same, but maybe at the same time, since you're a very international audience, and of course, we do this in English for non-Spanish speakers, so there's not a lot of you that are from Argentina. Maybe some of you understand Spanish and or live in Argentina, um, but I think there is a big difference between the 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 two audiences, right? The Argentine, the people that were born in Argentina, that are watching Argentine TV all the time, know these players from the very beginning, are different, and a lot of times they think differently than the Mundo Albiceleste audience. People that are from elsewhere that will probably know a lot more of the players that are playing abroad outside of Argentina, and whenever there is a national team player that is playing in Argentina, you maybe don't know them so well. Like it could be the case for Montiel in the last Copa America. He was very well known for everybody here. There were some people that didn't know very well about Emiliano Martinez. They didn't know Emiliano Martinez very well, so they were saying, "Why don't Scaloni play Armani instead? We know Armani because he plays for River. He's whatever." And they didn't know Cuti Romero, for example. So there is a big difference. We all support Argentina, we all love Argentina, but there's a big difference between the perception from people from outside, people from Argentina, right? Um, I believe in a bit of a balance, because I see some players not playing in Europe, but doing very well here in Argentina or Brazil, and I believe they deserve a chance. But I think some people, and especially in the media in Argentina, if a player doesn't play for Boca or River, they don't like them. They're gonna criticize them, and they're gonna go as far as Messi. Messi in the beginning was one of the players that they were asking to be replaced for somebody else, from somebody who played for Boca or River. They didn't care about Messi being the best player in the world. So after this very long intro, I believe that the perception and the feeling around Scaloni, I think it was a bit of the same for both audiences, for people in Argentina and for people outside of Argentina, because we were all looking at each other saying, "Hey, are they going to give this guy the national team of Argentina? He hasn't worked at a club level. He doesn't have a lot of experience." Um, Yeah, he has national team pedigree because he played even for the youth teams. He won a youth World Cup. He went to the World Cup with Argentina. He knows what it is to be there. There's always people who will give them credit, and start there with a passive um, uh, attitude and say, "Hey, you know, I'm going to support this guy no matter what. I don't care if he's not famous." And of course, in the media, there's a lot of people who were, "Oh, this guy, no, he's useless. We should be putting there high profile manager like Pochettino, like Simeone, like Gallardo." They were criticizing those guys for not taking this job. Maybe they felt it wasn't the right time for them. Maybe they're in different projects. They're entitled to it, right? Um, but I wanna talk a little bit about him because today I was listening to the press conference that he gave, and I mean, he is so composed. Obviously, winning a Copa America will give you a lot of credit and a lot of confidence. But I didn't think he put a foot wrong. Every answer was, it was he was sending it to top corner. He was talking about international players, well, Premier League players not being released. He was talking about um, the relationship between the fans and the national team, because it wasn't always this kind of euphoric um, situation that you're seeing, this demand for tickets and everything else. And I think he's so calm, so composed, and he's even um, making the right substitutions now in the games when we were criticizing him before the Copa America. Not in bad faith. We were all supporting him, and we were, you've been with us. You've been watching the videos. We were always supportive. We were just talking about what needed to be done in order for us to close the games, because we were um, dropping points from winning positions, and those are the things that you need to correct in order to become a great team. And he deserves a lot of love. He's gonna get a lot of love tomorrow. Of course, he has won the right to lead this team into the World Cup, and long may continue, because he's well liked by the players. And the media, they can shout, they can complain, what they can say whatever. Um, they're in the losing side this time, because they told him the apprentice, they told him the inexperienced guy, that nobody knows him. They said a lot of bad things about him. They said we need a real manager, not Scaloni. And now people here in Argentina, they have embraced him, and he deserves it. I just wanted to ask around, see what you think. What opinion do you have about him? I'm seeing some of the comments,
Yeah.
and he's proven to be doing a good job. Take it away, Roy.
Yes, no, that was a great. Well, I was gonna say introduction. That was a great speech. I honestly could not have said it better myself. In terms of, there was always that thing, as you mentioned, when Scaloni took over. It was, why isn't it Cacciardo? Why isn't it Pochettino, Simeone, some of the bigger profile names? And the fact of the matter is, not nothing against Scaloni, obviously not. But at the time, I mean, Matt, right here, Scaloni was all we could afford. Let's
Mhm.
not forget, it's not like the federation has money to throw around. And luckily for Scaloni, luckily for the players, for us, for the fans, it worked out. And if it
Yeah.
had it not worked out, let's say had it not worked out, and Scaloni does not win the Copa America, you can't fault him. He
Mhm.
reached a semifinal in 2019, would have reached a final in 2021 against Brazil, and he hasn't put a foot wrong. He's been, and this is something that we mentioned in every single video, Scaloni continues to progress every single match. You could tell he's getting better. The substitutions, if we
Yeah.
go back to the match versus Chile, or the match versus Colombia in the qualifiers back in June, like, yeah, maybe he waited a little bit too long for the substitutions, maybe this, maybe that. Now, not so much.
Yeah.
He was more composed versus Venezuela. We spoke about this. He brought on 4 or 5 attacking players. He even brought on Dybala at the end. So I think, like you said, he has earned the right to coach this team until Qatar. And depending on how well he does there, I'm all for having him stay long term. And something that helps, I think, is the fact that obviously having Messi fully helps,
Mhm.
but having Scaloni, having Samuel, having Pablo Aymar, and having Roberto Ayala, 3 guys or 3 other guys along with Scaloni that know what it's like to play for Argentina. These guys have played World Cups. These guys have played under 20s. Ayala's won an Olympic gold medal in 2004, sorry.
He has
And
been
these are
captain.
guys,
Yeah.
he's been captain. He's been
Yeah.
captain. And the players now, if you look at Lautaro Martinez or Lo Celso, Paredes, De Paul, doesn't matter. These guys are in their early to mid 20s. So when they were
Yeah.
growing up watching the national team, who did they see playing?
Yeah.
They saw Ashala, Aymar, Samuel. So you're playing for guys that you appreciated growing up. You're playing for legends,
Mhm.
and you're playing with your friends, and all of that helps immensely and has helped Scaloni, and good for him.
Yeah.
I
And also for Messi, Pablo Aymar was his
Yeah,
idol. growing up.
Yeah,
He loved Pablo Aymar, and this has been really well documented many times. But I think it's uh, there's also one of the things that we've been mentioning a lot, because it's a matter of pride for all of us, that of all the South American teams that the Premier League prevent players from joining the national teams, the only ones that ended up turning up for the national teams were the Argentine players. And now they're going back to England, and they're going to receive fines from Tottenham. Maybe Aston Villa will fine. We're not sure about it, but it wasn't free for them. It wasn't easy for them to stand up to their clubs, to their employers, and come to Argentina. And that is also down to Scaloni, not just
of course.
the shirt, because Scaloni is providing the stability and the context that embraces these guys, and they want to be here. And we talk a lot about this, but trust me, it's really because it is important. The team spirit is fantastic, and today at the press conference, one of the questions was if Scaloni thinks that what happened in Brazil, the fiasco in Brazil, the inspectors going onto the pitch and suspending the game, the whole situation, the crisis, and everything else, if he thought that that would galvanize the team, the team spirit, and they said, "Hey, Scaloni, do you think this is gonna bring the team together?" And he said, "We we already are. We already have a galvanized team and a galvanized group. This is a group strong enough to face any challenge." Um, and he said, I don't think this has improved our team spirit or anything like that, because we wanted to play
Yeah,
football and we wanted to win. It tells you a lot. It tells you a lot about the current state of things in,
yeah.
in
We
Argentina. So
I'm just bringing up some some
yeah,
excellent comments as we're talking, as we're going along here. You mentioned team unity, and I'm not gonna go too far back, although looking back, it's about 19 years ago. But 2002, the team was on paper the best team in the world. That 2002 Argentina team, but in the locker room, there were some. The team was not fully cohesive, let's say. So sometimes, yes, we've had the best players in the world before. We've had the best national team in the world before, but that hasn't led to anything.
yeah,
Now, like you said, you have that team unity, that spirit, and it's working. That, along with the hard work from the players, along with Messi, along with Scaloni and the coaching staff, everything. And there's some comments I brought up where Scaloni's built a team for the next decade, for the next 10 years.
yeah,
De Paul, Paredes, Lo Celso, that's a midfield. Cuti
yeah.
Romero, that's one right there. Martinez, Lautaro Martinez. So these are players that maybe some should have been there in 2018. Maybe. I
No,
mean,
I'm
Lautaro
laughing.
being one of them.
No, you know why I'm
Why?
smiling, because you said Martinez, and there's like four Martinez. So,
There's
but
Lisandro Martinez, Emiliano Martinez, Lautaro Martinez.
yeah, it's the whole Martinez family. It's
Everyone,
like 10
all of
pages
them, in the phone book.
in the phone book.
In the phone book. But it's true, and these are guys that maybe should have been there in 2018. Not all of them, but if you look at, I mean, Lo Celso was there in 2018, did not play a single second. Lautaro Martinez, he did not get selected. Instead, we got maybe other strikers that were past their date. You have other ones as well, and Scaloni's building that. And if you hear or if you read the interviews from the players, and if you hear what Scaloni himself says, they say, look, if I'm not starting today and it's someone else that's starting, I'm good with that. As long as the team performs and as long as the team plays well and we win, it's good. There was an interview with Paredes right after Argentina won the World Cup, and they asked him, how did it feel when, at one point you were substituted off or you were replaced in the starting 11 by Guido Rodriguez? He said, look, I get it. I'm not going to play every match. Guido came in. He did well. He's playing hard in training. He deserves it. And most importantly, the team won.
Mhm.
You don't always get that with different teams, especially national teams, where the matches, you don't play every single week and you don't train every single day, and the coach only sees you so many times. So to go back to your original point about Scaloni, this has not always been the case in the past, and this is something that you could have a not so talented group of players, which I'm not saying Argentina are. I think there's amazing group of players, but you could have a not so strong group of players but the team unity is 1,000%, and they're all willing to die for each other. And you could have that team defeat a team full of superstars that does not get along.
Absolutely.
Argentina are lucky; they have both.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I think there's a general agreement because I'm reading the comments, and yeah, there's a general agreement about it. There's a comment about
Yes,
um, Sandes, the left back for Boca. A couple of
there you go.
yeah. Thank you for this comment, and this is something that I heard today as well. Um, this is another thing that I think the the media have a lot to do with this because of the team where this guy plays, right? Sandes. He's been having a very good last few games for Boca, and now the media starting to push his name, say, hey, I don't think he's anywhere near the level of quality that Marcos Acuna has or Nicolás Tagliafico. I'm not ruling him out for the future because he has a very, very good future. His family is from Paraguay, so he could be entitled to represent Paraguay. Same goes for one of the Racing Club right backs, Cáceres. He considers himself Paraguayan. He was born here, but to Paraguayan parents, so he's gonna go play for Paraguay. These things, sometimes they happen. Um, but I'm telling you, I think I have been more impressed by another Boca Juniors left back who also has impressed, but he's 100% Argentine. He's Valentin Barco, and he's only 17 years old. So I think he's the left back of the future for Argentina. I think Sandes. I'm not saying, as I said before, I'm not ruling him out. I think he's very physical, talented, has a very nice technique, and maybe it's him or his agent, trying to put some pressure, putting his name out there. By playing for Boca Juniors, his name is already out there, right? But I don't think he's right now at a level that it's close enough to what Marcos Acuna, Nicolás Tagliafico can provide us with, and maybe for the future, yeah, not ruling him out. But I think Valentin Barco, it's even is not to be confused with the other Barco who plays
Ezekiel.
for the MLS. Yeah, Ezequiel, who plays in Atlanta. Different player, different position, but he's a fantastic prospect already with a bit of a first team experience. So
Yeah.
one to
And
look for, and he's a redhead, so you're gonna identify him very very easily.
yeah,
And
and
he has
look,
the face of an assassin. Yeah, I'm telling you more. You're gonna love
uh,
this because he has the face of an assassin. He's young, but you look at him and he's like, okay, I'm
he'll kill
here.
you.
Yeah, yeah, I'll kill
It's
you.
an Otamendi look.
Yeah,
It's a Nicholas
yeah,
Otamendi look.
yeah,
I
you're
mean,
gonna love
I,
it.
I guess I guess the good news for Argentina, at least until the World Cup, is with Acuna, with Tagliafico until the World Cup, I think we're pretty safe. And from now until then, who knows what could happen. If we were to do this, if we were to sit down this time last year or this time in January and said that Christian Romero would be the star, one of the stars of the Argentina backline, who would have believed us?
Of
Probably
course,
no one. No
of
one. I would
course.
not have believed you. You probably would not have believed me.
No,
So a year in football is a lot. There's still a lot to go. We've seen youngsters 16, 17, 18 that have flourished, and then a year later, poof. And we've seen some players the opposite, late bloomers
yeah,
at 27, 28, maybe, that finally got their shot. So I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried. It's like, what's his name? The other Argentine, Paraguayan, Juan Iturbe.
Iturbe. Yeah, everybody said,
Iturbe.
yeah, he's the new Messi.
Yeah.
He
And
didn't end up having a good career. He was a flop at River. Had
yeah,
I don't know how many clubs he's been to already. Um, no, it wasn't to be. And I remember I felt, oh no, we lost this guy to Paraguay. He's gonna
yeah.
he's gonna be star now. it wasn't to be. So, it's not the same as when this little guy called Lionel Messi was, being considered that
For
maybe
Spain.
Spain will call him up, and so they organized. Maybe you don't know the story. I'm pretty sure it's quite popular story, but they organized friendly between Argentina and Paraguay, ironically, just for Messi to play for Argentina, just for Messi to be ineligible for any other team, to how you call it, bulletproof Messi. So nobody could get him, apart from us. It ended up being a very good move, very intelligent move.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad move. It wasn't a bad move. Eh,
Pretty good.
yeah, yeah. Good. Good up mentions Luca Romero of Lazio, not a little mistake of
Lazio,
Lazio. He's
Lazio.
another one. He's another one that they're calling him the next Messi and this and that. Still very young, still very very young. So who really knows what could happen there? But you know what? We're in the now, and the now is, I mean, this is going to come up. The now is the tomorrow, and the tomorrow is Argentina Bolivia, and this is kind of what we're here for. So Seba, what are you? Yeah, what are you hearing for the starting 11, or do you want me to bring that
Right.
up?
Yeah, one thing that the man himself, Scaloni, confirmed today, and that was another answer that I really liked from him, because he was talking as a leader, as as a um, it was very inspiring, because if I put myself in this player's position, and I hear the manager say these things in front of the media and talk about me as the only player confirmed in the starting lineup for tomorrow, um, it will have a very big impact. And I'm talking about the goalkeeper. You know, down to crisis, down to whatever the reasons may be, Juan Musso is gonna get the start for tomorrow, and I couldn't be happier for him. I know him for a long, long time. I'm a firm believer in his ability. Um, the minute I saw him play, you're gonna see him tomorrow. The size, his personality, even if it's a lot more quiet than Dibu Martinez. He's not a psycho like Dibu, but he is very composed. And Scaloni was saying, you know, um, he works really hard in training, as hard as anybody. He has a perfect attitude. Everybody loves. Yeah, you got me. You got up. I'm very happy that Musa starting. Everybody likes him in the team, and we know he's going to do a great job tomorrow. We trust him, and he's going to be our keeper. And the rest of the team, I still have to think about it. I still have to see what goes on in the last practice, and then I'll make a few decisions. But hey, there you go, Agustin. Yeah, la academia. Yeah, tomorrow it's a good day for all Racing Club supporters, because it's all about Boca and River a lot of the time in the media, and quietly, maybe not so quietly at times, all Racing fans like myself, we know these guys, we trust these guys. Roy is sick and tired of listening to me saying, "Hey,
No, no,
we should
no. It's
play the
always fun.
ball. We should play." I have been saying this before they play for Argentina, and it's a pleasure for us to know that these guys, and three of them even started playing for Racing. Marcos Acuña was bought from Ferrocarril Oeste, another team in Argentina, in the city of Buenos Aires. He had a great career at Racing, won the league in 2014, and but the rest, Muso, De Paul, Lautaro, the rest of the Racing bunch that is going to be playing tomorrow, they started their career since they were little kids at Racing. So it's a special moment for all Racing fans tomorrow. I'm sure Agustin must be happy. But yeah, talking about Muso, of course, I think we all know that Dibu Martinez is first choice. Armani used to be first choice for Scaloni. He tried to stay loyal to him, but you couldn't keep Dibu Martinez away from the team. But now Armani is injured, so it's up for grabs. I wouldn't say it's up for grabs. I think Dibu Martinez is going to be the starter, but Muso has a chance to impress tomorrow, fight for a place, cement his place in the World Cup squad, but especially enjoy tomorrow. And this is a long history. There's a long pedigree for national team goalkeepers that played for Racing, including the World Cup winner in '78, Ubaldo Matildo Filiol, including Chiquito Romero. Romero started his career at Racing, so it's a long tradition, and it goes back to 1930, the first World Cup. The goalkeeper was called Botazo. It was his nickname was the Iron Curtain, and I know him because my grandfather used to tell me all about him. He was a fantastic goalkeeper who played with a hat, and he played in the first World Cup, and he was a Racing goalkeeper. So, and I'm sure I'm missing a few in between, but there's a long tradition for Racing goalkeepers playing for Argentina. So tomorrow is going to be another special day for the club and for Muso himself.
There you go. So you have your brief history, your very, very
Yeah,
quick history of Racing Club with the Argentina
yeah,
national team. But no, but it's true because I mean, back in the '90s, it was mostly River Plate players, right?
yeah.
At one point,
Um, One other name that comes to mind, you know this guy, Carlos Roa. He played in the World Cup in '98,
'98.
also a Racing Club product. So if you look at it, the name, the link, the list grows every minute. I don't have a super memory, but yeah, he played for Racing and played in a World Cup.
Yeah,
Stopped a couple of penalties against
penalties versus
England.
England.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there you go. It's all these guys are going to be behind behind Muso tomorrow. Very proud of him, I'm sure.
Yeah, there you go. So we're gonna get four in the starting lineup: Lautaro, Acuna, De Paul, and Musso. That's almost one third. That's about one third of the team.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why Seba's very proud, and he went on his little
Of course.
victory speech.
And I'm not talking about who is also a fan of Racing, but there's probably another starter
Yeah,
who used to be a fan of Racing when he was little. Now his kids are
he was.
Racing fan as well.
Well, if you guys were watching earlier, he's the cook.
If you want to
So
show the picture, I sent it to you yesterday. You feel free.
I
It's a
have
funny
to
picture, but no,
I
it's
have to
not.
go back and find it.
Yeah, I don't wanna bore you to death with the all Racing, but it's a special circumstance for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um,
No, absolutely, absolutely. And it's look, I mean, Emiliano Martinez got his opportunity because Armani.
mhm.
Now with Armani out, knee injury, this could be the chance for Musu to become the number two goalkeeper. Still not, not bad at all. So it's a big chance for him. It's a big chance
Yeah,
for him. Um, and for
and
most leagues,
also,
yeah,
sorry, no, also a big
no,
season ahead for him at club level because he just moved to
Atalanta.
Atalanta. He's the starting keeper there, and he's gonna play Champions League football. So it's gonna be interesting to see him between now and the World Cup, which also goes hand in hand with what we were saying in previous videos about the transfer market that we had for the national team players. A lot of them going to better teams, going to more demanding roles, growing in stature, and I think it's gonna do wonders for a national team.
Let's hope so. I mean, for one, I mean, Christian Romero not off to the best start, but someone like De Paul, I'm sure, and especially because Simeone's there, and Simeone, Argentina national team, he would understand. So someone like
Yeah,
De Paul or Correa, Angel Correa under Simeone is different than Christian Romero and Gio Lo Celso under Santos in Tottenham.
hmm,
So different, but still, hopefully these moves end up being good, at least for the most of them.
yeah.
We're not going to get that many changes if the rumors or reports are to be believed for the starting 11 tomorrow. Obviously, Scaloni confirmed Musso. It does appear to be similar to the team which started against Venezuela and the 5 minutes against Brazil. So Acuna once more, your boy Seba, Acuna over Tagliafico, Pesela for Christian Romero, Otamendi's there, and it looks like it could be Montiel instead of Molina as right back. Are you good with that, Seba? And
Yeah,
everyone, what do you guys think in the chat about that?
yeah, no, absolutely. I have no issues with that. Petzela had a good game against Venezuela, so it
Yeah,
looks like he's, whenever Cuti Romero is not ready, he's there. That's his spot.
yeah,
When Romero can play, Otamendi, he deserves to be there. He's been playing very well. He's a leader as well. He's very experienced, and I'm very happy with the two Sevilla fullbacks. They're going to be playing together. I believe it's going to be the first time they play together since they
yeah.
became
Teammates.
teammates in at club level as well.
Yeah, I mean, Montiel started obviously against Brazil, but the
Yeah.
5 minutes doesn't
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
count.
yeah,
We don't count it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Silly me, forgot about it.
Yeah. No, no, but look, it's that
It's
one
like it
doesn't
didn't
count.
happen. Yeah, it's
It
like
never
it didn't
happened.
happen.
It never happened. We have a question here. So before since we're still on the defenders, what do you guys think of Otamendi for the World Cup? I mean, many of us called for him to be dropped. He's proved in the Copa. He's the rock. No, I'll start off with this, Seba, if you want, or I could take this one. I've been mentioned in the past in the previous videos. I've been maybe one of his bigger defenders, one of his bigger supporters, just because if you watch him throughout the Copa, I don't think he put a foot wrong. Maybe that one opportunity versus Chile, the penalty, which was probably down to everyone, him, Tagliafico, and everyone else in the back line. Other than that, he's been solid. He's getting up there in age, yes, but the World Cup's in a year's time. He's playing well for Benfica. He's playing well for Argentina. Personally, I would not drop him. I know obviously a lot of people want Lisandro Martinez of Ajax in there for him, but Otamendi has that experience. I'm not saying Martinez wouldn't do well. For the time being, I would rather stick with Otamendi, especially considering that you've mentioned this before, Seba. He complements Romero very well, and Romero seems to complement him very well. So I would not be happy if he was dropped. Let's put it that way. I'm a fan of his.
I agree. Yeah, I had my my
Doubts?
moments. I had my moments with him. I really loved
Yeah,
him at times, and then at times I had my doubts. But he's a rock, as Matt is putting it there. He's loved by his teammates, and he's getting better when he has Cuti Romero next to him. With Pesela, he has a very good partnership, and I think he has this ability to have different kind of partners. If you put Lisandro Martinez next to him, they're gonna form a good partnership as well. He's
yeah.
like he could be good cop, a bad cop to Lisandro Martinez, good cop. That type of partnership they could be forming.
Yeah.
When Cuti Romero plays, it's like two bad cops, and sometimes it's what it takes.
Look, if
Uh-uh.
you need that, you need that.
Yeah, at times, yeah.
The other one is in midfield. So Paredes is back. So Leandro Paredes, sorry. Rodrigo de Paul, and then it looks like it's going to be either Ezequiel Palacios, Nicolas Gonzalez, or Papu Gomez replacing Lo Celso. Seba, who would you go with?
Yeah, I heard that the doubt is either to go with three up front, um, and to replace Lo Celso with a more attacking player, considering that possibly Bolivia are gonna wait and try to counterattack. And they're saying that they could give this starting nod to Joaquin Correa, who has been really impressive. I think we are at a point in which who can argue anything that Scaloni decides tomorrow? Not just because Scaloni, we like Scaloni or he's doing a good job, but because I think all the players have been on point. I mean, and whoever you pick, and especially with the huge golfing class that we have between Argentina and Bolivia, and also playing at home. If this was the altitude, we would be talking about a different approach to the game. But in this case, anything that he decides tomorrow will pay off. That's my feeling. Obviously, it's not the same. Maybe tomorrow he sees that the team is not gelling and it's not fluid enough. He can make substitutions in game, but anything that he can throw from the start is gonna win the game, in my opinion. I know I'm making these
Yeah.
bold statements that you're not used to see from me, but it's gotten to this point. So I'm good with whatever decision that he takes, as long
Yes.
as Messi, Lautaro, De Paul, um,
Muso, Acuna, and
no, no, yeah, no, no, don't make this a Racing bias because Messi is not playing
no,
for
I know, I know,
never played for
I know.
Racing, sadly for him, but but um, but yeah, as long as the main guys are there, eh, continue to get an extended run, and continue to increase their numbers with the national team, I think we'll be good. Yeah,
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I think, like you said, the difference in quality between both teams, I think it's going to be the difference in and of itself. The fans are back as well. That's going to give them another advantage. And let's not forget, Argentina actually won at altitude
yeah,
versus Bolivia 2-1. Lautaro and Joaquin Correa, the goal scorers. Lautaro will surely start. Joaquin Correa maybe as a substitute. Um, Personally speaking, I would love to see Papu Gomez start just because if it were up to me, I would go with 11 strikers. I wouldn't even play the four defenders. Just go out to have fun. So I would rather. And look, if it's Nicolas Gonzalez, it's Gonzalez. If it's someone else, it's someone else. But I'd love to see Papu Gomez, Messi, Lautaro up front. We never got that because against Bolivia in the Copa America, it wasn't Lautaro. It
Mm,
was Messi, Angel Correa, and Papu Gomez. So it'll be fun. I would go with
yeah.
Papu.
Yeah, because there were some risks for suspensions and stuff like that.
Yes,
And
suspensions and the last match in the group.
speaking of which, tomorrow again we're gonna have a few players with the risk of getting a suspension, and
Yes,
this is down to the fact that we didn't play a full game against Brazil, because it would have been different for tomorrow.
but
A lot of
from
players would have taken a yellow card against Brazil, maybe on purpose,
yeah,
even what time wasting down the line or whatever, anything that they could do to earn a yellow and skip the Bolivia game in order to be ready for Paraguay, Uruguay, the next round of fixtures. But we have to take every game as they come, and don't
yeah,
speculate with that anymore, because I think the time to speculate has passed.
yes. Could not have said it better myself. And the attack, I mean, same attack that started the 5 minutes versus Brazil, and the same attack that started against Venezuela, and the same attack that won the Copa America. Messi,
Yeah.
Lautaro, Di Maria, Seba. Your thoughts?
I mean, you're asking me
The,
for my prediction, or
well, no, your thoughts on the attack. Would you go with Lautaro? Would you go with Di
yeah.
Maria? Would you?
As I said, no, I made my peace with
You're
everybody.
good.
Yeah, um, yeah. I always like these guys. I wanted them to do well. They're doing well. Um, Di Maria, I was happy for him to start against Brazil. He
Mhm.
looked to be connected at the beginning. He was only 5 minutes played, but he was alert. He was there, ready
Sure.
to play. Yeah, I'm good if he starts tomorrow. Yeah, no problem. No problem with any of those.
There you go. There you go. You heard it from the
And,
man himself.
and I think it's a good opportunity for them to to play more minutes, to get used to playing together. Um, don't forget, these
Yeah.
guys are not playing more than 10 games a year, and it's good for them to play as
Yeah.
many minutes
And
as they can.
yeah. And let's not forget. I mean, Lautaro aside, because Lautaro started versus Inter, but Di Maria and Messi have not really played much club football since the Copa America final. Messi played 20 minutes for PSG. Di Maria played probably a full match. Obviously came on as substitute at one point, scored for PSG, then came on as substitute, I think, when Messi made his debut. Started that match. So neither him nor Messi have really played a lot, and this could be good, get them back into the rhythm.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm just excited. I am. I woke up this morning and I'm thinking, oh, the match is tomorrow. We still have to wait for tomorrow for the match, and I just like someone in the chat earlier. I wanted the match to be
Yeah,
today. I wanted
yeah,
the match to be today.
yeah. The
I
week is
guess it was.
defined by the World Cup qualifiers. This
Yeah,
this week. Do you want to make an
yeah.
appearance? Hey, look.
There you go.
What is this? ¿Qué es esto? What is this? Barba, your beard.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you
This
go.
is
That's
Manu,
it.
everyone. This is Manuel.
Manuel.
He's
Hola,
already a Copa
Manuel.
America champion. Yeah. But you need to win two
That's
World
true.
Cups in order to reach your papa. I want two World Cups. You only
Ah.
won one. Two, I want two World Cups, and you only won one Copa America.
Oh. Yeah, but that one Copa America came after 28 years, Seba. We needed
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. But I wanted two. Yeah, you know.
Okay. We'll let that slide. We'll let that slide. Oh my god. Predictions for score predictions tomorrow, Seba, for you and for everyone in the chat. We'll bring them up in the comments.
I'll be surprised if we don't win by 3 goal difference at least. Yeah. And I see Messi in the score sheet. I see him in the score sheet for tomorrow. Cuidado, Manu, la luz, ojo. He was about to bring
The light.
my fragile structure to the ground. I see Lautaro scoring. I see Messi scoring. That's all I see. Maybe a double from each. Yeah. Maybe one Correa to score as well. Yeah. And I see there's a lot of confidence in the comments. Yeah.
Yeah, 4-0, 4-1, 4-1, 5-0. I would go with 4-0. I think we'll Argentina scores at least 4. I don't know if we concede, maybe, but 4-0 for me, so 5-0. 3-0. Dybala, I think Dybala is on as a substitute. I would like to see him score. I think it would do his world of confidence of good if he could get a goal. He has to shine. You know, we said this before the matches versus Venezuela. This is Dybala's time right now. He has to step up. No excuses. You know, at this point, he's been overtaken, let's say, in the pecking order. So he has to do well. And it doesn't mean just because you score a goal that you played well. No, but he has to step it up. And I think he will.
Yeah, there's this factor that we were talking about earlier. He never played for Boca or River, never played in the first division here. He used to play for a second division outfit, Instituto de Córdoba, doing very well. He then went to Europe. So for a lot of people, he's an unknown in terms of, there's a lot of people here who watch European football, but they don't see him week in, week out. They're not in love with Dybala yet. They don't know him that well, and all they see is Dybala playing for the national team. So he hasn't played up to the same level he shows for Juventus. So the national team is his only window of opportunity for him to win over the public in general in Argentina, which is in the
not
end
easy.
It's not easy, and in the end, it's the one that will cement your place in the national team. If the people like you, if tomorrow the Monumental crowd will be will support you, will be clapping you at every opportunity and cheering on you. That's a message to the manager as well. And we said in previous videos that Dybala, now with Cristiano Ronaldo gone from Juventus, he has again the opportunity to be the alpha dog at Juve, and I think it could do wonders to his confidence, to his level, and this is a player we can't afford to leave out of the national team. So I'm hoping, I'll be really surprised if he doesn't play tomorrow, and I hope he scores as well. Yeah, it's interesting. I think he's one of the players with more at stake, if I'm honest. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he has more. He has a lot. He could win a lot and he could lose a lot depending on his performance versus Bolivia. MN asks, does Messi get substituted? I hope so. No, I hope so.
It depends on him. Yeah.
I know, but look, if it was up to him, he would play forever. He would play every single second. But I hope he does, just for the ovation, for the applause from the fans. That's why I want him to get substituted.
Yeah, no, I don't want him to be substituted. No.
This is the only reason why I would want for him to get substituted, just to get the applause. Because honestly, yes, he's gotten it before, but never well, I mean, not as a Copa America champion, so
Yeah.
we'll see. Um, there you go. I'm just going through the chat as well.
Yeah, so there was a question about Foyt.
Let's see. I believe, yeah, I think I saw
Yeah,
that.
we
Here we
spoke
go.
about
Yes.
Foyt. He has an immense future. He's already a reality, uh, and he was a hot topic of conversation the day Scaloni named his squad for Copa America and left him out, and he was coming off a couple of big costly mistakes in the World Cup qualifiers. But Scaloni said he still counts on him, and he's proven that by calling him up immediately after Copa America. Now that he has an opportunity to call up a bigger squad, and I like his versatility. I like the fact that he can play right back or center back. I still think he needs to calm down a little bit. Try to cut on the error ratio, but I think he's a good player to have around in the team, and I'll be looking closely at what he does this season because he's definitely a player with a lot of ability. He can do a job in the future for the national team. Of course, I don't see him as a starter in any of those positions, but he's a good
Right.
player to have as a substitute. Yeah.
He's he's a good player to have. He's a versatile player.
Hmm.
He can play right back. He can play center back. I don't like you. I don't see him as a starter. At least not right now. At least not right now. And being left out of that Copa America squad, yeah, I think just drops him a little bit in the order. We've
Hmm.
seen Pasella, Martinez Cuarta, obviously as right backs, Montiel Molina as well. So he's gonna have to fight for a starting spot, just like
Yeah.
everyone else, but maybe a little bit more than
Yeah,
others.
and also there's another name that's been mentioned in the comments, Marco Senesi. I think he, if he
Yes,
was playing in a different league, in a higher profile team, he would have a different status with the national team. I'm waiting for him to be called up. I think he has a lot of ability. He can score as well, which is very important in this modern game for center backs to be able to score, not only with the head, but also with their feet.
hmm
And I also like Facundo Medina. So there's a lot of names there. It's going to be an interesting year for the center backs that are just behind the Otamendi, Romero, Lisandro
right.
Martinez, Petzela, and those guys. So
Cuarta, yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see.
It's going to be interesting. There's a lot from the, well, mostly from Europe, let's say. Some maybe less deserving than others. Obviously, like Leo Balerdi of Marseille. He
Yeah.
was one that got a chance with Scaloni about 2 years
Hmm.
ago. Nothing since. He was dropped. Yeah, Foyt that's in and out of the team. So there are players that are there. There are some names, some options. We're just gonna have to see. And like you mentioned, Seba, the national team does not play that many matches per year.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
10
That's the
games,
bad
and
thing. Yeah.
it's not always easy to get in there. Someone like, let's say, Icardi, for example, he was going to get called up, and who knows if he would have been called up, if he would have played, he would have scored, maybe he would have impressed Scaloni, but he got called up and he got injured, so
Yeah.
he's out of the team. It's a good problem to have. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It's a
Um,
very very good problem.
there was also a question about when are we facing European opposition next. Do you know, Roy,
Um,
if there is anything confirmed? Because all I know
Nothing yet.
on that front is that there are conversations and there are negotiations with promoters, organizers, federations, etc., to have this clash of titans: Argentina, Italy, the
Italy.
champions of the continental champions. There's a rumor there, they want to play that game, and I hope it happens. It's not confirmed yet, but I think there is a slightly interesting chance of that happening in the future.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'll be the first to hear. We'll let you know as soon as we hear. Um,
Yes.
and yeah, I'm dreaming of that game. I really want that game to happen. Absolutely.
That's a match. That's gonna be. I won't say that's going to be a test. That's going to be a big, big test because we haven't played European opposition in a while. And not only is it just any European opposition, it's the European champions.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
European champions. So I hope it happens. They were saying early next year, January, February, but if I'm not mistaken, there's also World Cup qualifiers taking place. So I don't know how that's going to happen. It won't be
yeah.
easy.
That's
It,
that's a thing that is different than any previous World Cup, because this time the World Cup is going to be played at the end of the year,
in winter.
in the middle of the European season. So it's going to be interesting to see uh, how the teams prepare, because it's not going to be like before, that everybody was on vacation from their clubs. They could, hold a training camp, play three friendlies in a month. I don't know if they're going to be able to fit a few friendlies just
Mhm.
before the World Cup, uh, down to the calendar issues. So it's going to be interesting, and it's going to be very um, important, um, to select the right opposition, the right tests ahead of the World Cup. So
Yes, yes, and I
interesting.
mean that's part of the reason why the Confederations Cup was canceled because
Yeah.
there's no time.
No.
There's no time. So maybe if they set one window up, June, July, or August, one international window, Argentina could play Italy. That way, the qualifiers will have been done. Everything will have been completed. Uh, Other than that, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to fit in. It really will be.
Yeah.
We have
Um, I'm thinking of previous Argentina Bolivia games played in here in Buenos Aires, and I have a personal memory of one of the Argentina Bolivia games,
yeah.
um, and it was a World Cup. I think it was a World Cup qualifier. Um, we won 1-0. It was very, very difficult, and the goal scorer was Gustavo Lopez. Remember Gustavo Lopez, the
Oof, of
midfielder, used to
course,
play
of course, of
for
course, of course.
Zaragoza. What else? He played in Spain for. I'm sure our viewers and our followers are know who I'm talking about. But if I can find the video of that
Let me
goal and send
see.
it to you, right, or maybe you can
That was for
find it. Yeah,
2000. Yeah, that was for the 2002 qualifiers.
that was Bielsa, right?
Um,
That was Bielsa
that was
in
Bielsa. That was
charge.
Bielsa. Um, oh boy, that one was this match.
Ah,
I'm trying to get the date. I have the starting 11. I have the
nice.
starting 11. The starting 11 was Bonanno, Samuel, Ayala, Sensini, Zanetti, Simeoni, Gonzalez, Ortega, Verron, Lopez, and Bati.
How
That
many
was the starting one.
managers? Look how many managers
Yeah,
playing at that
yeah.
time. But yeah, I was there. I remember it because I was there, uh, and
It
I
was
remember
2000
suffering.
Saint-Lagitte.
Yeah, I was in the upper, behind the goal, upper tier, and when that goal went in, whew, boy, did we celebrate, because it was more of a relief, because
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad, and I'm not talking about memories from the altitude, because those are normally bad
That's,
memories. Yeah,
yeah.
with Diego as a manager, well, whatever. Yeah, there you go.
Everyone
Now
knows that.
talking about the home games. I don't know if I don't know if it was, no. I think it was
the,
Peru when Crespo scored a back heel. I think it was Peru
now,
or
was that Peru or Paraguay?
Paraguay. I don't know. Sorry.
I know the
We
goal you're
should
talking about,
we
though, but
should
yeah,
prepare this. We should prepare this. I was just thinking,
we should.
hey, let's think about previous Argentina Bolivia games.
The
I remember
the
that
one
one. It
with
was.
yeah, there was one with Sabella. It was 1-1. Lavezzi scored.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, so it was the second match of the qualifiers. Argentina beat, or sorry, third match of the qualifiers. Argentina had beaten Chile 4-1. I think Higuain got a hat trick. And then
mhm.
they lost to Venezuela 1-0. And then they drew 1-1 at home versus Bolivia. I'm pretty sure Lavezzi scored it. And then that's when they went to
Yeah.
Barranquilla and they got the 2-1 win versus Colombia.
Your memory is a lot better than mine. Um, I have the goal here. Let me send you the
There you go.
link.
Send it. I'm not sure for copyright reasons. I'm not sure if we actually could.
What? What if it's on YouTube? You should be.
Even if it's
Maybe.
on YouTube. Yeah, even if it's on YouTube.
Okay. No,
If you
never
want,
mind.
send me the link. If you want, send me the link. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
There you go. We can do that.
Send it to you via Twitter, direct message. Yeah.
Yeah, Twitter or any text message doesn't matter.
I sent it. Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah, I
you
was
go.
there. It was it was tight. It was tight, and I celebrated even if Gustavo Lopez started playing for Independiente. I have no problems. I have no issues.
There
He
you
used to play for Independiente.
go. There you go. I just put it in the chat for those who want to take a look at it after we're done. So there you go. So Seba was at that match. Unfortunately, will not be at the match tomorrow, but it's okay. If the weather's not as good, maybe it's better to just stay home.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that means that I will get to do this post match, because otherwise, maybe the time that it takes for me to come back from the
To get
stadium,
home,
I wasn't gonna be able
yeah.
to. Gustavo Lopez
It-
was fantastic
the
player.
the reason
So
why he was
intelligent.
underrated, yeah, the reason why he was underrated was because he was surrounded by bigger names.
Yeah.
But he
No,
was
and
an
also
excellent player.
he had a couple of issues with injuries.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he was coming up through the youth ranks for Independiente, and then playing for Independiente in the first division, I really envy them. That was, it always happens when you support the team and then you see players from
The
your
opposite
arch
team.
rivals. There's always one or two that you will like for them to be playing for your team, and Gustavo Lopez was one for sure. And then there's also those guys that you will never like to see at your club, but he wasn't one of those cases. He was one that I always,
Likeable.
yeah, Kun Agüero used to play for Independiente, and who wouldn't like a player like him being playing for your team? But I was on at the receiving end so many times with him.
I remember when Aguero sometimes would not play too well for Argentina, and then Seba would somehow always bring up Independiente.
No. But
No, I'm joking. I'm
I always
teasing.
try
I'm
to,
teasing.
I always try to stay
Neutral.
neutral in
I
these
know.
type of things. Yeah, but
I know.
and I mean, there's
But yeah.
nothing bad can be said about Agüero. He's a fantastic
No.
player.
He's a comedian off the pitch, and he's
Yes.
a great player on it. He's a great player on it. Especially the recent Mbappe comments. I don't know if everyone has seen that, where Aguero was talking about Mbappe to Real Madrid. That was something else. If you guys missed it, it's on Twitter, it's on YouTube. Even if you don't understand Spanish, just go and watch it. Aguero talking about Mbappe.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So we're about an hour and 20 in.
Yeah.
Anything else, Seba?
No, I'm just very, very happy that we managed to have another nice video put together.
Nice.
All possible thanks to you guys, with all your comments and your topics and your questions, and your love for us, for the national team. It's really amazing. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is the game. So
In
looking
about
forward.
25 hours.
Yeah, in about 25 hours. And as soon as we can, put everything together and be ready for the post-match video, we'll be here for you. And thankfully, it's with another 3 points, and the team doing well, and looking forward for the next round, which is good because we're not gonna have to wait that long for the next round of fixtures. It's gonna be in a month, so in terms of international football, that's not a long time to wait. So good.
Yeah, it's gonna be in October. It's gonna be in October. So this is gonna be it for tonight. Well, tonight's video, depending on where you are, or maybe this morning's video. At least for now. We're gonna be back tomorrow after the match, as Eva mentioned. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for joining, for participating. If you liked the video, if you enjoyed it, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. Make sure and hit it. hit that subscribe button to never miss a thing. On behalf of Mundo Albiceleste, my name is Roy Nemer. Thank you, everybody. This is the living legend himself, Sebastian Garcia. And until 26, 27 hours from now, we'll talk to you guys then. Take care, everybody. Be safe.
Yes, stay safe.
Bye.